Journey and Sky developer ThatGameCompany nets $160 million in new investments. Welcome to another Games Recap. What's up, everybody? I am Brandon Pham. I'm here with another Games Recap where I rant about today's biggest news that affects game developers. Thank you for joining me live every day at 11 a.m. PST on YouTube to join the discussion. Now, on to the news. Journey and Sky, Children of Light developer ThatGameCompany has secured $160 million in investment to create new interactive play experience. Venture capital firms TVG and Sequoia led the funding round, which also adds Pixar co-founder Ed Catmull joining the studio as a principal advisor for creative culture and strategic growth. ThatGameCompany will use the cash to expand its development team, organization of infrastructure, and pursuing new projects that deepens human connection through gameplay. The studio founder and CEO, Genova Chan, said that Game Company wants to create a title that emotionally appeals to people of all ages, identities, and backgrounds within a single experiences. This is somewhere where animated feature films have had genre-defining moments with Snow White and Toy Story, and we will continue working toward this moment in the gaming world, said Chan. With the advisory support from legendary Ed Catmull and the financial backing from TPG and Sequoia, we are here to double down ThatGameCompany's pursuit and continue to push the boundaries between art and human connection and video games. This is obviously fantastic news. So I've been a huge fan of ThatGameCompany, so much that we've actually had people like Cecil and Rika come on the show from ThatGameCompany to talk about their experiences of working there, and often highlighting Genova Chan as a genius that comes up with these great game ideas, but also has the business savviness of being able to deliver on these promises, as clearly shown about ranking in $160 million. This is a company that had its roots in the early PlayStation 2 days or PlayStation 3. They were behind a lot of the bigger titles back then and downloadable content, like Flow, that comes to mind. And they've been able to kind of support the vision since then, and working closely with Sony to publish these other titles. Sky was kind of a venture on their own. This was a title that was very surprising to me. When they were first announcing it for iOS, it was kind of past the iOS phase, where way past, like 8 years, 20 years past, where iOS apps were making huge debuts, right? So unless you were a hardcore app mobile developer that already had their claws in this market, it was very hard to break in, essentially. And ThatGameCompany was coming from a console background, and they jumped into this and was able to obviously deliver with Sky, the Children of Light. You know, they had a huge amount of following and downloads for that game, and were able to kind of make it happen to the point where Ed Catmull from Pixar believed in them so much that they see kind of like a transitional studio, or at least a in-between studio that can help bridge that gap between film and video games, right? So this is a huge time for them. $160 million is a lot. That team alone isn't that big, so that goes a long way. And I'm always about game developers getting paid, especially if they're doing great, awesome work. So congratulations for all ThatGameCompany. The next round of champagne is on you guys now that you're loaded, and be sure to kind of reach out to congratulate them personally after this. But this is very exciting and follows the trend where a lot of investors are investing in games nowadays. It is kind of like the big thing, along with blockchain and NFT. A lot of eyes are on our industry right now. If you have a great idea with a good track record, you're either being acquired or people are giving you money. So that concludes today's games recap. I hope you guys are having a good time out there, and go get yours. All right, come up with a cool IP and get paid. As always, see you guys next time, and hopefully join us in a new and live discussion. Laters.